Welcome to our channel History of Coins, where we explore the hidden gems of numismatics. In today's video, we're diving into the fascinating world of rare wheat pennies. These classic coins hold an incredible history, and some are worth millions. So today, we are gonna uncover the rarest varieties, their values. So make sure to watch the complete video and find out if you have one of these. Now let's continue our today's video. Top 1 today, we have something really special to talk about. A coin that's not only rich in history, but also could be worth a small fortune. We're diving deep into the world of the United States wheat penny, specifically the 1945 version. While most people might think of pennies as insignificant, this little gem has a fascinating backstory and could end up being worth far more than you expect. Stick around to the end, because you'll be shocked to learn how much this 1945 wheat penny could be worth today. Let's start by taking a trip back in time to 1945. The United States was coming to the end of World War II, and the country was undergoing dramatic changes. Soldiers were returning home, the economy was adjusting to peacetime, and the world was preparing to enter a new era. Amidst all this, the U.S. Mint was busy producing coins, including the 1945 wheat penny, to keep up with the demand for currency. The wheat penny, also known as the Lincoln cent, was first introduced in 1909, and it remained in circulation until 1958. The design was simple but powerful. On the obverse side of the coin, you'll find the iconic image of President Abraham Lincoln. Sculptor Victor David Brenner's portrait of Lincoln has graced the penny for over a century, becoming one of the most recognized and respected depictions of any American president. Surrounding Lincoln's portrait are the words "Liberty" and "God We Trust," and, of course, the year 1945, marking the coin's creation. Flip the coin over to the reverse side, and you'll see the signature wheat stalks design. These stalks represent the nation's agricultural strength, a nod to the country's roots as a land of farmers. The words United States of America and E Pluribus Unum surround the design, while at the bottom, you'll find 1 cent, showing the coin's value. The wheat stalks were designed by engraver John R. Sinek, and this design remained on the penny until 1958 when it was replaced by the Lincoln Memorial. So, why is the 1945 wheat penny so valuable? Well, the answer lies in its rarity, condition, and the history surrounding it. While the 1945 penny was minted in large quantities, not all of them are in the same condition. As time goes on, many of these coins have been heavily circulated, worn down, or damaged. But the real treasure lies in the pennies that have been carefully preserved. If you come across a 1945 wheat penny that's in near mint or uncirculated condition, then you could be sitting on a small fortune. Coins that have been preserved in excellent shape are highly prized by collectors. The value of a coin increases significantly if it has been kept free from scratches, discoloration, or any damage that might have occurred during circulation. In addition to the condition, there's also the possibility of minting errors. Sometimes, during the production process, coins are struck with imperfections that make them unique and highly collectible. These errors could range from misaligned dies to double strikes or even flaws in the coin's design. If you happen to have a 1945 wheat penny with any kind of minting error, it could be worth much more than a regular, well-preserved coin. But it doesn't stop there. There are specific versions of the 1945 penny that are even more valuable than others. For example, the 1945 wheat penny minted in San Francisco with the S mint mark is rarer than those minted in Philadelphia. These coins are more difficult to find, and their rarity adds to their appeal and value among collectors. Now, you're probably wondering, just how much is a 1945 wheat penny worth? Well, here's the exciting part. While most 1945 wheat pennies are worth just a few cents in circulated condition, if you have a coin that's in excellent condition or one that has a rare minting error, it could be worth a lot more. In fact, a well-preserved 1945 wheat penny could fetch an eye-popping $80,000. Yes, that's right, $80,000 for a single penny. Imagine that. One little penny, which you might have passed over 100 times, could be worth a life-changing amount of money. It's a perfect example of how coin collecting is more than just about collecting. It's about finding hidden treasures in plain sight. Who would have thought that a coin worth only 1 cent when it was minted could now be worth so much? If you think you might have a 1945 wheat penny in excellent condition, or if you suspect you have one with a rare minting error, it's definitely worth taking a closer look. You might have a rare find on your hands that could potentially change your life. And don't forget, the 1945 wheat penny is part of a larger collection of historical coins, So if you're serious about coin collecting, this coin is a great addition to any collection. So, what should you do if you find one of these treasures? First, inspect the condition carefully. A coin that's still shiny, with clear details, and minimal wear is likely to have a much higher value. Look for any signs of damage or discoloration, as this will lower its worth. Then, check for any minting errors. These could drastically increase the coin's value. Top 2, we've got a real treat for all you collectors and history lovers out there. We're going to dive into the fascinating world of the 1951 United States wheat penny, a coin that might be sitting right under your nose, possibly hidden away in your collection or even in your spare change. You'd be surprised how a simple penny from 1951 could be worth a whole lot more than just 1 cent. Stick with us until the end, and I'll reveal just how much this particular wheat penny could be worth in today's market. Let's take a trip back to 1951. The United States was in the midst of the post-World War II boom. The economy was thriving, and life in America was changing rapidly. It was a time of expansion, prosperity, and growth. But it wasn't just the economy that was growing, so was the demand for coins. The U.S. Mint had been working hard to meet the needs of a booming economy, and the 1951 wheat penny was part of that effort. Now, when we talk about the design of the wheat penny, there's one thing that stands out: its historical significance. On the obverse side of the coin, you'll see the iconic portrait of President Abraham Lincoln, a design that has graced the penny since 1909. Created by the talented sculptor Victor David Brenner, this likeness of Lincoln has become one of the most enduring symbols of American leadership. Surrounding Lincoln's portrait are the words, "Liberty, in God we trust," and, of course, the year 1951, marking the minting of this coin. But what really makes the wheat penny special is what's on the reverse side. If you flip that coin over, you'll see the classic wheat stalks design. This design, created by engraver John R. Sinek, has deep roots in the American agricultural heritage. The wheat stalks symbolize strength, growth, and the country's agricultural backbone, which was vital to the nation's success. The words United States of America and E pluribus unum surround the design, while 1 cent proudly displays the coin's value. Now, let's get to the heart of the matter. Why is the 1951 wheat penny so valuable? Well, as with most coins, it all comes down to rarity and condition. The 1951 penny, while not as rare as some other coins, has become increasingly valuable over the years, especially in higher grades. Most 1951 pennies were heavily circulated, meaning they've likely been worn down or damaged in some way. However, the real treasure lies in those coins that have been carefully preserved in excellent condition. These pennies are hard to come by, and when you find one, you've got something worth holding on to. But condition isn't the only factor that plays into the value of a 1951 wheat penny. Sometimes, errors happen during the minting process. These minting errors can create unique and extremely rare coins, making them more valuable to collectors. For example, double dies, misaligned strikes, or even mistakes in the design can turn a regular 1951 penny into a one-of-a-kind collectible. Mint errors like these are highly sought after by numismatists, and if you happen to stumble upon a 1951 penny with a minting error, you could be holding a coin that is worth significantly more than a regular penny. And here's another twist: some 1951 wheat pennies were minted in different locations. If you happen to find one with an S mint mark, that means it was produced at the San Francisco Mint, making it rarer than its Philadelphia counterparts. The San Francisco minted coins have a more limited circulation, adding another layer of rarity that can drive up their value. So, how much could your 1951 wheat penny be worth? Well, it's all about the condition and whether or not it has any minting errors or unique features. Most of the 1951 pennies you come across will likely be worth only a few cents. Nothing too exciting there. However, if you happen to have a 1951 penny in excellent, uncirculated condition, it could fetch you a price much higher than its face value. And if you've got one with a rare minting error or an S mint mark, you're in for an even bigger surprise. Here's the big reveal: $77,000. Yes, you read that right. $77,000 for a single 1951 wheat penny. That's a staggering amount for what many people would consider just a common coin. But, as any seasoned collector will tell you, the value of a coin isn't just about its face value. It's about its rarity, condition, and any unique qualities it may have. Now, Before you go digging through your spare change jar or rummaging through old coin collections, remember that not every 1951 wheat penny is going to be worth that kind of money. It all comes down to how well the coin has been preserved and whether it has any unique features that make it stand out from the rest. If you've got a penny that's been kept in pristine condition, or one with a rare minting error or unique mark, it could very well be worth a fortune. So, what do you do if you find one of these hidden treasures? Start by carefully inspecting the coin. Look for signs of wear, scratches, or discoloration. If it's in mint condition, you're off to a good start. Then, look for any unique features, such as a minting error or an S mint mark. If your penny has any of these special qualities, it's time to get it appraised by a professional numismatist or coin dealer. Top 3, we have a special treat for you. A coin that you might have in your collection or even in your spare change, and it could be worth far more than you think. We're talking about the United States 1952 wheat penny, a coin that may seem ordinary at first glance but could turn out to be a rare treasure. Stick with us as we unravel the story behind this remarkable penny and reveal how much it could be worth if you happen to have one in your collection. Let's travel back to 1952. The United States had just come out of World War II, and the world was entering a new era of technological and economic growth. The country was experiencing a period of prosperity, and everyday life was evolving. In the midst of all these changes, the U.S. Mint was busy producing coins to meet the needs of an expanding economy. The 1952 wheat penny was part of this effort, and it was produced to support the circulation of currency during this period of growth. The 1952 wheat penny features the iconic design that has graced American coins for decades. On the obverse, you'll find the familiar portrait of President Abraham Lincoln, created by the sculptor Victor David Brenner. Lincoln's image has been featured on the penny since 1909, and it continues to be one of the most enduring and respected likenesses of any U.S. president. Surrounding the portrait are the words "Liberty" and "God We Trust" in the year 1952, marking the coin's place in history. Now, let's flip the coin over to the reverse side, where you'll find the classic wheat stalks design. This design, which was created by engraver John R. Sinek, has deep roots in America's agricultural history. The wheat stalks represent the nation's strong ties to farming, which has always been a vital part of the country's success. The reverse also includes the words United States of America, e pluribus unum, and the denomination 1 cent. So why is the 1952 wheat penny considered so valuable today? The answer lies in its rarity, condition, and the potential for unique minting errors. While the 1952 penny was produced in large quantities, not all of them are in the same condition. Most of the pennies from this year were heavily circulated, meaning they have suffered from wear and tear over time. However, the real value lies in finding a 1952 penny that has been carefully preserved in excellent condition. Coins that are well kept, with minimal signs of wear, are highly sought after by collectors because they are relatively rare. Additionally, minting errors can significantly increase a coin's value. Sometimes, during the production process, the U.S. Mint makes mistakes that result in coins with unique characteristics. These error coins could include things like misaligned dies, doubled strikes, or other imperfections that make them stand out from the rest. If you happen to have a 1952 wheat penny with any type of minting error, it could be worth much more than the standard issue. Another factor that can increase the value of the 1952 wheat penny is its mint mark. You might notice that some coins have a small letter on them, such as D for Denver or S for San Francisco. These mint marks indicate where the coin was minted, and certain mint marks are rarer than others. For example, a 1952 wheat penny minted in San Francisco with the S mint mark is rarer than one from Philadelphia, making it more valuable to collectors. Now, let's get to the exciting part. How much is a 1952 wheat penny worth today? While most 1952 pennies are worth only a few cents in circulated condition, if you happen to have one in excellent, uncirculated condition, it could be worth much more. Some of these coins, especially those with minting errors or rare mint marks, can fetch prices that will blow your mind. If you have a well-preserved 1952 wheat penny or one with an error or rare mint mark, it could be worth a remarkable $72,000. Yes, you heard that right, $72,000 for a single penny. Imagine that something so small and seemingly insignificant could hold such immense value. It's a reminder that in the world of coin collecting, the smallest details can make all the difference. Of course, not every 1952 wheat penny will fetch that kind of price. The key is to find one that is in pristine condition or has that special minting error or rare mint mark. But even if your penny isn't worth tens of thousands of dollars, it could still be worth far more than its face value, especially if it's in good shape or has a unique feature. So, how do you know if your 1952 wheat penny is worth a small fortune? Start by carefully examining its condition. Look for signs of wear or discoloration. If it looks like it has been sitting in a drawer for decades in perfect condition, you might have something special. Also, check for any unusual features that could indicate a minting error, like doubled numbers, misaligned images, or other imperfections. If you think your penny is valuable, it's worth getting it appraised by a professional numismatist or coin dealer. They can help you determine its true worth and guide you in selling it if you decide to do so. Top 4. We're diving into the world of the United States 1954 wheat penny, a coin that could be hiding in plain sight in your collection or even in your pocket. This seemingly humble penny could be worth more than you ever imagined. So stick around as we uncover the fascinating history, design, and most importantly, the value of the 1954 wheat penny. Let's see how much this little piece of American history could fetch today. Let's start by taking a trip back to 1954. The United States was in a period of post-war growth, with the country recovering and thriving in the midst of the 1950s boom. People were experiencing a sense of optimism, and the economy was in full swing. The U.S. Mint was hard at work producing coins to meet the needs of a rapidly growing nation, and the 1954 wheat penny was part of that effort. While the penny itself may have seemed like just another coin at the time, today it holds historical value that makes it truly special. On the front side, you'll find the iconic image of Abraham Lincoln, who has graced the penny since 1909. Designed by Victor David Brenner, this portrait of Lincoln has become an American symbol of leadership, wisdom, and legacy. Around the portrait, you'll see the words "Liberty and God We Trust" in the year 1954, marking this particular coin's place in history. It's a simple, yet powerful design that captures the essence of one of the nation's greatest leaders. Flip the coin over, and you'll see what makes the wheat penny so unique. The reverse side features two stalks of wheat, symbolizing the agricultural strength that the United States was built upon. The wheat stalks are encased by the words United States of America and E Pluribus Unum, and beneath them, you'll find 1 cent, indicating its value. Designed by John R. Sinek, this reverse side design reflects the importance of farming and agriculture to the growth and prosperity of the country during the 1900s. Now, why is the 1954 wheat penny so sought after by collectors today? Well, the answer lies in rarity, condition, and mint errors. Though the 1954 penny was produced in large quantities, the key factor to its value today is how well it has been preserved. Coins that were heavily circulated during this time are typically worn and damaged from years of use. But if you happen to have one that's been carefully stored, kept in pristine condition, or hasn't seen much circulation at all, you've got yourself something special. Here's the thing with coin collecting. It's all about rarity. Most of the 1954 wheat pennies you'll come across were used regularly and have visible signs of wear. But when you find one in excellent condition, it becomes an exceptional piece for any collector. The term for this kind of coin is uncirculated, meaning it hasn't been in circulation and has been preserved perfectly since it was first minted. These uncirculated coins are highly coveted, and that's where the value comes in. But there's more to it than just condition. Some 1954 wheat pennies have minting errors or unique features that set them apart from the rest. These can include double dies, misaligned strikes, or even rare variations in the design that were produced by accident at the mint. Mint errors make a coin even rarer and more valuable, which is why collectors are willing to pay a premium for these one-of-a-kind pieces. If you've got a 1954 wheat penny with a noticeable mint error, you could have a real treasure on your hands. Additionally, some 1954 wheat pennies were minted in different locations. You might come across coins that have a mint mark indicating where they were struck. For example, the D mint mark means the coin was minted in Denver, while the S mint mark indicates San Francisco. Coins from these different mints can carry different values. The 1954 wheat penny with a D mint mark, for example, might be a little more common than one with an S mint mark. The rarity of a particular mint mark can make a significant difference in the coin's value. So, how much could a 1954 wheat penny be worth today? Well, most of the pennies you'll find are in circulated condition, meaning they're worth only a few cents. But for those in mint condition or with rare minting errors, the price can be much higher. A well-preserved 1954 wheat penny could easily fetch a good price at an auction or from a coin dealer. But if you have one that has a minting error or is in particularly rare condition, the value can skyrocket. Hold on, here comes the exciting part. The 1954 wheat penny in top condition could be worth an impressive $69,000. Yes, you heard that right, $69,000 for a single penny. That's the kind of money a well-preserved, error-free, or rare mint-marked coin can command in the right market. It's a reminder that the world of coin collecting isn't just about the value of the coin's face. It's about its uniqueness, its condition, and the history it represents. Of course, not every 1954 wheat penny is going to fetch such a high price. The vast majority of these coins are worth only a small fraction of that amount, but it's important to understand what to look for and how condition, rarity, and minting errors play a key role in determining a coin's value. If you happen to find a 1954 wheat penny with the right features, you could have a real gem on your hands. So, what should you do if you come across one of these valuable coins? Start by carefully inspecting the condition of the penny. Look for any signs of wear, scratches, or discoloration. If your penny looks as though it's barely been touched since it was minted, you're on the right track. Also, check the coin for any minting errors. Look for any doubled inscriptions, misprints, or unusual variations that make your penny stand out from the rest. If you think your 1954 wheat penny could be worth more than just a few cents, it's worth getting it appraised by a professional coin dealer or numismatist. They can help you understand the true value of your coin and guide you in selling it if you choose to do so. Top 5, we're talking about the 1957 wheat penny, a small but mighty coin that could be worth far more than you ever thought possible. Stay with us as we dive into the fascinating world of the 1957 wheat penny, its historical significance, and its potential value. Trust us, you'll want to stick around for the big reveal. Let's set the stage by going back to 1957. The United States was entering a time of post-war prosperity. The economy was booming, and life was changing for millions of Americans. It was a time when the United States was beginning to embrace a future of innovation and growth. People were experiencing newfound comfort, and the country's infrastructure was evolving rapidly. It's during this time that the U.S. Mint struck the 1957 wheat penny, which would go on to become a noteworthy coin for collectors all around the world. The 1957 wheat penny, like its predecessors, features an image of President Abraham Lincoln on the obverse. This image, designed by sculptor Victor David Brenner, has been iconic since 1909, and it continues to represent Lincoln's legacy of leadership and wisdom. Surrounding the portrait of Lincoln, you'll find the words "Liberty" and "God We Trust" in the year 1957. These inscriptions are not just part of the coin's design, they also tie it to an important moment in American history. On the reverse side, you'll see the classic design of two stalks of wheat, a representation of the United States' agricultural roots. This design was created by engraver John R. Cynic and has become a symbol of America's strong connection to farming and the land. The words United States of America and E Pluribus Unum also adorn the reverse, along with the denomination 1 cent. This simple yet powerful design serves as a reminder of the country's foundation and the importance of agriculture to its prosperity. Now, here's where things get interesting: the value of the 1957 wheat penny. You might be wondering, what makes this particular penny worth so much today? While it's true that millions of 1957 wheat pennies were produced, the key to their value lies in their condition and rarity. As is often the case with older coins, the majority of these pennies were circulated and show signs of wear. They may have scratches, discoloration, or even be completely worn down from years of use. But here's the exciting part. There are still 1957 wheat pennies out there that have been kept in pristine condition. These coins are often referred to as uncirculated, meaning they were never used in daily transactions and have been carefully preserved in excellent condition. These uncirculated coins are highly coveted by collectors, as they're rare and represent a moment in time when the penny was fresh from the mint. When it comes to determining the value of a coin, collectors and investors pay close attention to the condition, or grade, of the coin. Coins that have been well preserved and show no signs of wear can fetch impressive prices. The higher the grade, the more valuable the coin. But condition isn't the only thing that affects a coin's value. Minting errors can also play a big role. Minting errors are one of the most exciting aspects of coin collecting. During the production process, coins can sometimes be struck incorrectly, leading to unique features that make them stand out. These errors can include things like double strikes, off-center designs, or misaligned images. If you happen to find a 1957 wheat penny with one of these rare minting errors, you could be sitting on a coin that's worth far more than its face value. Additionally, the mint mark on the coin can also affect its value. Some 1957 wheat pennies have a D mint mark, indicating they were produced in Denver, while others might have an S mint mark, showing they were struck in San Francisco. These mint marks make the coins unique, and some are rarer than others. The coins with certain mint marks, such as the San Francisco minted pennies, are considered more valuable due to their relative scarcity. Now, let's get to the moment you've been waiting for. How much can the 1957 wheat penny actually be worth today? While most of these pennies are worth just a few cents, the real value comes from those that have been preserved in uncirculated condition, have rare minting errors, or come from rarer mints. So, just how much could one of these pennies fetch? If you have a 1957 wheat penny that's been carefully stored and is in top-notch condition, it could be worth a stunning $65,000. Yes, you read that right, $65,000 for a single penny. That's the kind of value a well-preserved, error-free, or rare mint-marked coin can command in the right market. Imagine holding a coin worth tens of thousands of dollars, all from something as simple as a penny. It's important to remember that not every 1957 wheat penny will be worth that much. But it's certainly possible if the coin is in exceptional condition or has unique features that make it stand out. The key is to look for coins that have been well cared for over the years and to be on the lookout for those minting errors that can add value. So, what should you do if you think you found a valuable 1957 wheat penny? Start by carefully examining its condition. Look for any signs of wear or damage, and pay attention to the details. If your penny looks like it's in pristine condition or has any unusual characteristics, it could be worth having it appraised by a professional coin dealer or numismatist. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the 1957 wheat penny and want to learn more about the world of rare coins, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. That way, you'll never miss out on discovering another valuable gem in the world of numismatics. You never know, your next rare find might be closer than you think. Thanks for watching, and happy coin hunting!